Hello again, my fellow crafters.
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome back to this channel, MikoCraft. And today, we're going to learn how to make the canvas sling bag with the flap cover. Before we get into this tutorial, please support us by clicking the subscribe button. Here are the patterns for this bag. The details and the measurements are as follows. You can click pause button to observe and make a note of each pattern. And the other supporting materials are as follows. Interlining fabric is optional. It only needed if you are using thin fabric for the outer. This is the flap cover that we're going to make. The heart-shaped leather patch is only for accessory. You can make it like I did, or you can just skip this process. For the flap cover, we take two pieces of fabric piece. I highly recommend of applying an interfacing fabric to one or both fabric piece. It will make the flap more firm and neat when it bends. In this tutorial, I'm applying the interfacing to only one fabric piece. And before we sew the flap, we're going to attach two pieces of the male parts of the magnetic button. We apply this button to the fabric piece with the measurement as seen on the screen. Here's what it looks like after being attached. Next, we pile down both of fabric pieces with the good side facing each other. We will sew its sides and leave around 15 cm unstitched. This will be the hole to turn the flap inside out. After being sewn, we need to cut every corner of the flap like the example on the screen. Cut it carefully, not too close to the stitching line. And after that, we will turn the flap inside out. Close the opening and flatten it down. Secure its sides with the pin needles and make a top stitching all around. And the flap cover is now done. Before continuing to the next part, we need to make the steering holder, and we'll sew it to the flap cover. We take the leftover fabric with this size, fold it up twice, and sew all of its sides. And after that, we will sew the steering holder to the bottom end of the flap with a length of 2 cm from the edge. Here's the result, and we will set it aside for the later process. To prepare the handles, we're going to cut two pieces of the webbing with a length of 80 cm. The handles loop are optional. Here I'm using a synthetic leather with this size. And put a snap button like this. We're going to fold the webbing in half and sew it around 16 cm in the middle. Don't forget to put the loop inside. and we will fold the loop once more and sew it. Here's the result. To prepare the pocket, we're going to take fabric E, F, and G and sew the bias tape on the end of the fabric like the example on the screen. Here's the result. And we will set it aside for the later process. To make the back lining, we're going to take two pieces of the fabric H and the fabric F and draw the lines with the measurement as seen on the screen. For one side of the lining, we will place the fabric F to one of the fabric H with a distance of 2 cm from the top of the fabric H. Next, we will sew the U shape right on the line that we had made before. We can put a snap button on the top middle of the fabric F. And the white middle pocket is now ready. Next, we're going to sew the fabric D on the top of the lining fabric. Sew it with a good side facing each other. Then, fold it back and make a top stitching through the fabric D. One side of the back lining is now ready. Before continuing to the other side of the lining, we're going to make the hanging pocket. It is the same way like what we did before in our previous tutorial. We're going to sew the fabric E1, 2, and 3 and the zipper. Next, we're going to sew the bias tape on both sides of the pocket. The hanging pocket is now ready, and we're going to sew it on the middle of the remaining fabric edge. And after that, we take another fabric D and sew it on the top of the fabric edge with the good side facing each other. Then we fold it back and make a top stitching. The other side of the lining is now ready. To get the lining ready, we pile down two parts of it with the good side facing each other. Secure its position with the pin needles and we will sew its bottom end. The lining fabric is now ready for the next process. On this step, we're taking the two fabric A's and draw the line like the example on the screen. First, we will make the front part of the outer of the bag. We're going to sew the webbing to the fabric A. Sew it right on the line that we have made before. Next step is to install the two female parts of the magnetic button. Place it on the spot as seen on the screen. Also, if you already have a label, don't forget to put it on. The front part of the bag is now finished. Now, we will prepare the rear part of the bag's outer. And before we sew the webbing, we will first sew the rear pocket. Place the fabric G on the bottom middle of the fabric A, then sew it U-shape. Next, we will sew the webbing just like the front part. And after that, we will sew the flap cover onto the fabric A with a distance of 5 cm from the top. After being sewn, we will install the D-ring. Do it like the example on the screen. And the rear part of the bag is now finished. We take the fabric C and sew it to the bottom of the front outer part. Pile it with the good side facing each other, then sew. Next, we fold it back top to make a top stitching. And after that, we will sew the rear part to the other side of the fabric C. And again, sew it with the good side facing each other. Fold it back again, and we will make another top stitching to the fabric C. And the result is looking like this. The outer part of the bag is now ready for the next process. On this step, we pile down the lining to the outer fabric with the good side facing each other. Secure its position with the pin needles and sew the two ends of it, but leave an area unstitched for about 15 cm, like the example on the screen. This will be the hole to turn the bag inside out, or what we used to call to give birth to the bag. And after being sewn, we pull the middle seam and flatten it down. Secure its sides with clips or pin needles, and we can start to sew it. To do this process, it is better to start the sewing from the middle or from the alignment of the two seams. This will improve the sewing precision of the bag. After the two sides are already sewn, we will turn the bag inside out. Next, we will tidy up the bag's opening, close the hole with the clips, and also secure it with the pin needles. Then, we will do a top stitching all around the bag's opening. You can make one top stitching or two to make the bag stronger and tidier. We still have two holes on the bottom ends, and we're gonna close it. We will align all the outer and the lining fabric. Secure its position with the clips or pin needles, and sew it from the lining side. Sew it only half centimeters from the raw edge. Cut all of the excess fabric, and do the same for the other bottom's end. Before we sew the outside edges, we first secure the ends of the fabric F to the line that we have made before on the fabric H. Do it on both ends, and turn the bag inside out. It's easy to find the bag's edges. Just follow the breaking line that are created from the lining pockets. Clip the edges with the clippers and sew it from the gusset area. Sew about 1 cm from the edge. Do it from the top to 1 cm above the bottom end. Do the straight edges first, then continue to sew the bottom edge. Here's the result. Do the same thing to the other side. Don't forget to check the inside of the bag. Make sure that the edge stitching are fully covering the rough seam and the pocket's end. And our bag is almost finished. This is the last part, and we will need the double-sided tape to hold the fabric eye to the sponge. You can also use another kind of glue as you like. Cut all of the excess fabric. Sew the bias tape to the sides of the sponge. Sew it slowly and neatly. The result is going to be like this. Don't forget to make the adjustable crossbody strap. We're using around 130 centimeters of the webbing. And our bag is now finished. This is the final result of our tutorial today. If you have any question about making this bag, please write down on the comment section below. And please support this channel by clicking the subscribe button. And don't forget to like and share this tutorial to your social media. Thank you for watching and see you again in the next tutorial. Goodbye. Wassalamu alaikum.